What were your goals heading into Resident Evil 7?
So our primary goal was making sure that we had a numbered flagship Resident Evil title on next generation hardware, and really making sure that we were going back to our survival horror roots and offering the most immersive experience possible.
What did first-person perspective open up from a horror storytelling standpoint?
The fact that you're not able to see a character from a distance, you're actually kind of in the experience yourself. You're more simulating an experience. That's something that we were kind of able to take that and offer a more intimate story experience.
Louisiana is known as a very haunted type of place, a lot of haunted houses, things like that. What inspiration did that setting open up for you creatively?
So in terms of the vision that we were going for, in terms of the overall backgrounds and the environment, we felt that the setting of Louisiana really kind of jived and meshed well with our vision for our next title.
Did you do any type of research trips down there and stay at any haunted places as inspiration?
So I personally was not able to go out to Louisiana, but other staff members were able to go out to Louisiana, and they were able to get a lot of data that we were able to incorporate into the game. They were also, not only were they able to get a lot of different shots of the scenery, they were able to kind of experience a lot of the wilderness and get chased around by the wilderness as well.
When it comes to this game, can you talk a little about going back to the roots and what that means for Resident Evil?
So if you look at the history of Resident Evil, we've kind of evolved the franchise after every 3 titles. This actually isn't intentional. It's more of just it's kind of lined up with the changing of the game industry and the changing of the times. And we felt that the franchise has kind of moved forward in a more action-oriented direction, and we figured this would be a perfect opportunity to kind of take RE7 and really go back to our roots and revisit them and rethink what it means.
Where do you draw inspiration from when it comes to horror and what scares you?
So in terms of general inspirations for entertainment as a whole, I think we draw a lot of inspiration from movies. As a great example, we definitely drew a lot of inspiration from Evil Dead, a lot of classic horror titles that we grew up with for the development team as a whole. For me personally, when developing this game, I kind of tapped into just the fear of death. I think that's a fear that anyone can relate with. And Resident Evil does offer you the opportunity to kind of figure out a way to escape death, fight back any kind of adversary, and try to survive even one more second. So that was definitely something that we took into account when developing this title, to make sure that that element of fear is definitely there, and allowing players to still find a means to escape.
How do you go about creating new creatures, new adversaries? For example, cannibalism has been alluded to in this, and then applying that to a video game gameplay experience.
So in terms of the process of coming up with a new adversary, the first thing that we always want to think of is what kind of experience do we want to offer the user? And then from there, we ask the question, well, how do we offer that experience to the user? And the easiest way of offering that experience is through some kind of tangible adversary. And so we want to think about, okay, well, we have this adversary. What kind of unique aspects do they have? How do they offer these terrifying experiences? That's kind of the very general means of how we come up with the enemies in our games.
Does the element of cannibalism scare you?
So the conversation of cannibalism, it's definitely a taboo for human society. So I'm definitely scared of the idea, and I think most people do as well. But it's something that kind of adds to the level of these are characters that you're not really quite sure what they're going to do. Just the level of unpredictability that they have, the fact that they are kind of unstable, and that they're a little bit distant from regular social norms. And I think that really kind of adds to that level extra of tension and horror that these characters really do offer. Just one thing I want to add, just to make clear, the cannibalism isn't necessarily the main theme of this title.
Can you talk a little about what impact having a Western writer involved in working with you will have on the story, especially with the setting being in Louisiana?
So the base script was still written by the Japanese development team. The benefit of having a Western writer kind of come in was the fact that we were able to make sure that it fit within Western norms a little bit better, to make sure that dialogue flowed a little bit better. It's a little bit more natural. It's things that people would actually say. So it kind of adds to that realism that we were really trying to strive for.